Okay, continuing the boxing day. Told you it's all boxing today. We're going to keep it rolling. And once again, Terrence Bud Crawford is going to be facing off against Hank Lundy. A lot of people were like, man, why is Hank Lundy getting this fight? Well, Hank, I was shocked because I was like, Hank don't really deserve the fight. He hasn't done anything to deserve it, I think. And don't mean that I hate Hank Lundy. Not at all. It just works out better this way. We would have loved to seen a Herrera fight against Crawford. But because the PBC rather is like they're paying astronomical amount of money to these other fighters, they're willing to wait. The managers are willing to wait and deal with PBC and see what PBC is going to offer, because that's more money for the manager. If you can get your fighter on PBC, you've made it. So that's what they're waiting for. They're like, well, let me see if I can go to PBC and see what I can get here. So with that being the case, you have a lot of rogues out there. A lot of guys that can make a great, compelling fight who've earned the right, who are just in it for the money right now. You know, you can't really blame them, but it's like, what choice do we have? So that's why we have Crawford and Lundy. And the words was flying from day one. And Terrence Crawford is from the hood. Okay, he's from the hood of Nebraska. Bud is not who you think he is. He's no punk. He's no thug. But he don't take no mess from nobody. Period. And you got a family that don't take no mess from nobody. They don't just be woofing. They back it up. Now, Hank Lundy, as an amateur, used to get knocked out. You know, used to get beat up a lot in the amateurs. But he has a great heart. He will come to fight. He will start swinging his hands early. And he uses the energy to try to lure somebody into a fight. Well, he telegraphs a lot of his shots, and you can see them coming from a mile away. So if you're a trained fighter, you know not to get hit with any of those bombs Hank throwing. You know, Hank lost a lot of fights due to conditioning. He wasn't in shape, and had he stepped it up early, he could have really won the fight, like the Delorme fight. Thomas Delorme is a good offensive fighter, but if you put pressure on him, he's going to crack. You know, and this is why the Lundy fight didn't happen before, because he lost to Delorme. And then he came back in the late parts of the fight, but he should have been busy from the beginning. Now, a lot of people think this fight's over already, and they're betting which round Hank's going to get knocked out in. Is he going to get knocked out in the first 6 or the last 6? And I think Hank gets stopped this fight. That's my prediction. He gets stopped in the probably the 7th or 8th round. I think he's got his will to probably keep him up. That Philly pride, keep him on his feet. But it's just too much skill set on the other side of the pillow. You're looking at Terrence Crawford, who can switch from southpaw to conventional. He's more dangerous at southpaw than he is at conventional. And he switched a lot in the amateurs, and in the amateurs he keep you at distance. He knows how to maintain the distance in the ring, and he has pretty good vision and footwork. And he's in the zone right now, you know. And I was the one to tell y'all Terrence Crawford will be here. So, like I say, I take some credit for that, because I knew right away. I was like, this guy here is something else. And I'm like, y'all probably don't see it yet, but I know it. And he's a problem. Like, he ain't going nowhere. These guys ain't going to be able to beat him. Skill-wise, he's not going to be beat. So now, now that everybody knows his name, and everybody said, "Oh, that's Terrence Crawford." Now we finna see what it reads. We're gonna see if it plays out the way we laid it out. But either way, you're gonna have a great fight on your hands. They had them face off the other day at the final presser. Man, the trash talk is just really elevated. Terrence Crawford pushed Lundy, and I swear it's like he went from New York back to Philly, because I didn't even see him no more after the push. He flew out the building when he pushed him. And I think the entourage came up there. Some dudes from Philly came up there. Man, what's going on, man? but ain't having it. You know, Nebraska ain't the show me state, but you're going to have to show it to them. So, Hank, I hope you're ready.